everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup could be a drag-em-out brawl as both teams rank in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed. The Jets are #1 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Jags, who will need to be sharp on offense. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight we start Week 14 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. So after the INT, it's Bortles. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this inside the 10 to the 7. 26 yards on the pickup there. And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Now a carry for the 1994 Hall of Famer, Tony Dorsett. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Tony Dorsett with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And a look at the defense now. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They get 25 yards out of that one. And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They come out here in the eye. They'll run it with Tony D. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 3rd down and 12.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. And it's knocked away and incomplete. On the defensive side, the starters for the New York Jets, Charles.
Let's start with their rookie linebacker, Darren Lee. Played quarterback, if you can believe that, in high school for a while, and uses that same speed at the linebacker position. Hard to block because he's hard to find.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And he comes back with 1 complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they got 29 yards there. And the Jags are going to have a 1st down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Well, the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 3rd and 5. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Bortles now to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 1st down, Bortles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run. So now a little soul-searching on 4th down. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. We'll see what they'll do here as they're up against a 4th and inches. And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
New York set to take the field, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll drop to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Aaron Lynch. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And take it right on the 30. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive.
And got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball, and as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Now the Hall of Famer Dorsett, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
And Myers able to knock it through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. It's caught right side. It's Hearns. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
Set, 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see. Touchdown, Jaguars! Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, I just kept using it.
They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 1:52 left to play in this second quarter. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So the D-line's going to spread out. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? To be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And it's a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
To throw is Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the outcut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Bortles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. And for the 4th time tonight, they're going to take him down, and this time it gets him a safety.
Yeah, this is good. I'm not going to even sugarcoat this one. I did not care at all for that play call.
Well, there's just so little time. You don't have much time to do anything. Why not, Charles, just run the football, take it into the locker room?
As you know, there are more bad things than good that can happen when you're backed up this deep with this little time. And sure enough, this is a late safety.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. He's got time. He's going to fight. He's got a man. Complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Green, blue 45, blue 45. Ace, ace.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. Surveying the field. Looking right sideline. That's complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone.
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Couple of Jets there in on the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. From the gun on third down, Bortles. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll look to throw again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And now out come the Jets. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's brought in by Eric Decker. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Eric Decker was the intended receiver, and it's third down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. He'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Here we go. Green, 90. Green, 90.
To throw, it's Bortles. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he's brought down. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Jacksonville first. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now they try the right side here. A strong running. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On second down, here's Bortles. Dancing to his left. Wide open receiver complete. He got 29 yards that time.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, You might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the time they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run really well and makes a big play.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Muhammad Wilkerson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
So they were stopped trying to run the ball on 1st down. Now they take a sack on 2nd down. The offensive coordinator's got to find a way to flip the script on the defensive coordinator because right now the defense has the advantage.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Eric Decker, the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down. When you want 3, get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Time for a break. Back back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now a handoff working right, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
On play action, now Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. That'll bring up second down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. And when you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And that is incomplete here. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
Hey, we got three. Green, 90. Green, 90.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Jaguars, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's a rare misstep as they'll drop to 11-2 on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more